Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Labor Day is here, which means it's time to fill the grill with all your ShopRite favorites, like hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages, and of course, ketchup and mustard. So go ahead, fill the end of summer celebrators, fill the back to schoolers, the last minute summer vacation planners, fill the Labor Day lovers. Fill the grill with fabulous foods that are priced just right. ShopRite, helping you get it together. Visit ShopRite.com.
¿Tiene preguntas sobre Medicare? Para orientación personalizada de un asesor local de Medicare, llame a la línea directa de SHIP. SHIP es el programa estatal de asistencia sobre el seguro médico que brinda ayuda imparcial a los beneficiarios de Medicare, sus familias y cuidadores, gratis. Llame el número gratuito de SHIP al 1-800-792-8820 o visite aging.nj.gov. Este anuncio ha sido posible gracias a la División de Servicios para el Adulto Mayor de New Jersey con fondos de la Administración para la Vida Comunitaria de los Estados Unidos.
Labor Day is here, which means it's time to fill the grill with all your ShopRite favorites, like hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages, and of course, ketchup and mustard. So go ahead, fill the end of summer celebrators, fill the back to schoolers, the last minute summer vacation planners, fill the Labor Day lovers. Fill the grill with fabulous foods that are priced just right. ShopRite, helping you get it together. Visit ShopRite.com.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Gen Exhausted. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm Jess.
Ooh, we're breaking new music. Not really. It's new stuff.
What is it?
Chili Peppers.
Oh.
It's called Tip of My Tongue. It's coming out from their album in October. The double album.
Okay. Good on them for still putting out music.
What's that?
I said good on them for still putting out music.
Yeah, I'll put that in for putting out. They're essentially going to put out 3 albums this year because that's going to be a double album.
Sweet.
Yes, it's better than more. Fucking. You're young, you get it. But Rich, have you looked at like a Billboard chart lately of like the Hot 100? Like, there's like. There's lots of consonants next to each other. There's like dollar signs and like at symbols and exclamation. Like, I don't even know how to pronounce half the shit because you need to buy a vowel.
We've evolved from leet speak to this shit to whatever the fuck this terminally online language is.
Yeah, like the Weeknd. I mean, he's easy. He just needs an E, but you know, he's at least got most of a word. But yeah, there's like rappers out now. Like, how the fuck do you even say that? How do you even say your name? Emojis are next, right? Like someone's gonna come out and they're just gonna have like the poop emoji as that's their artist name.
Prince was a proto-emoji artist.
Right? Yeah, he's out of his time.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, kinda. But yeah, the only thing I remember, the last time I really gave a fuck about anything that you're talking about was when everybody was named Lil.
Oh,
Lil something.
Lil this.
Lil this, Lil that. Lil shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck.
Lil
I don't
dick.
care. Go take your ass back to SoundCloud. I don't give a fuck.
No, but speaking of names I can't pronounce, we'll get into a rapper later that,
A rapper who's less street than Vanilla Ice, but somehow is in more trouble than he ever was, apparently.
Right. And Suge Knight don't even know about him yet.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't been hung off a fucking virtual railing yet, but we'll get to that.
Well, we're going to start with Joe Biden owes me $10,000. Well, it's the long-awaited student loan forgiveness guidance or what the fuck ever came out today. And if you make under $125,000 a year as a person or $250,000 as a couple, you get $10,000 of student loan debt forgiven.
Well, it's up to $20,000 if you took out Pell Grant every year, if you were granted a Pell Grant in college. And I haven't looked into it to see if you like went all the way through college on a Pell Grant or if you just got a Pell Grant for portion of your college.
Now that made me scratch my head because I didn't get a Pell Grant, but I had a couple friends who did. I thought a grant meant like you didn't have to pay it back.
It does, but a Pell Grant was for people who were lower income.
Yeah, like I had a few Pell Grants that I qualified for, whatever.
But again, Grant.
No, I didn't have to pay him back. That I didn't have to pay back.
Right. No. So what it's saying is that you didn't get as much estimated family help, because whenever you filled out for student loans, I don't know if you remember this or not, or if they did this where you are, but you had to put in like how much your parents made and all their assets and all of that, and they gave you a number which was your expected family contribution of what they estimated that your family was going to be putting towards your tuition, which made absolutely no sense to me. But they did that and took that into account on how much they were going to give you in a Pell Grant. So I think the assumption is that you had to take out more in student loans if your family was estimated to be able to give you less.
I think I aged out of that because it did not matter one fucking bit. No one asked me about what my parents made, none of that shit. They were like, what do you make? And I was like, okay. And I showed them. They were like, yeah, we can get you in here. Hold on, we can get you some money too. Holy shit. How do you survive? And I'm just like, see, you're what we call new poor. I'm old poor. I know how to live being poor. You got to learn. I was born into this shit, so shit. That's when I thought I was doing good. So anyways, yeah. So all right. So I mean, is it just across the board for any fucking thing? I mean, is that for trade schools? Is that for scuba diving classes, truck driving school? I mean, well, it'd be a trade school.
I think I can't find any like actual guidance on it. I saw that they man, I totally lost my train of thought. Hold on. It'll come back.
Hey, what if you just graduated? Say, like, I don't know, 2 months ago. You got a 10 grand credit now to go to college?
No, they put specifically on there that they would not be, that it was up to the amount you owed. So if you owed $15,000 left on your student loans and you took out Pell Grants, then you weren't going to get $20,000. You were just going to get your $15,000.
And I guess this all goes to the squeaky wheel, folks. Apparently, that's joking with Rich. I'm going to start an online campaign to say mortgage companies are unfair. I think it's unfair I have to pay my mortgage loan back. I don't know. I remember having to watch several videos that pretty much, the message of all of them was, hey, you got to pay this shit back. There's many ways you'll be able to pay this shit back. We will work with you to pay this shit back, but hey, you got to pay this shit back. And they were very flexible. Now, one, I just stopped paying, and that was on me. You know, I knew what I was doing, but I mean, when I stopped paying, I was like, I was out of college far longer than I'd like to admit on the air, but that's how long I had deferred and got this thing worked out. And just, you know, if you call them and just tell them, hey, here's what I can afford. I mean, they'd even take like $10 a month if you were just paying something on it.
Yep.
And now we got these whiny motherfuckers. It's not fair. I've been saying this the entire lifespan of this show and whatever iteration it's been. We're asking the wrong questions when it comes to this. Why do institutions that get billions of dollars in endowments and donations every year and tax breaks, why does the cost keep going up? Why, when you're getting all of this money pumped into you, do you keep raising your tuition every year?
Because profit. Mm-hmm. It's just profit at any cost. We don't care. They have a monopoly on the market. Where are you going to go? Community college? Okay. Yeah, you want to be middle management and bump your head on a glass ceiling? Go ahead. You want to go to a real college? At least a state college? You're going to have to pay a little bit more. That's the gatekeeping price.
Like, why do I have to buy a house before I can be able to afford to buy a house? Because a college tuition at this point, you're buying a house.
Yeah.
No idea, man. I mean, to me, I'm just like, but this is how I feel when it's like, okay, so you're making profits, and now you're making record profits, and you're not paying your workers anymore, and the price of the product's going up, and the quality of the product's going down. But you were making profit already, but now you just want to make more profit. So if we're taking our cues from the top, I mean, leadership is the workforce, the rank and file reflects leadership. Well, academia is taking its cues from the business world because they've had to mingle with the business world in fucking 20th century America, especially. It really started happening that business and the corporate interests started mingling with academia.
Well, then they're taking the wrong cues because they are devaluing their product with all of the degrees they're putting out there.
But that's that short-sightedness that all businessmen just, I guess, it's inherent in, because it's like it happens to everybody else, and everybody else falls into these traps and pitfalls, but it'll never happen to me.
When everybody's got a bachelor's degree, nobody's got a bachelor's degree.
Or they feel that there's the certain, I'm sure certain universities, colleges, whatever the fuck, worldwide feel like they're too big to fail. Somebody would bail them out. They would never go completely down to where it's like, Princeton is shuttered. MIT is mothballed.
Oh,
you know
God,
what I'm saying?
God, no.
So ultimately, it's just like the auto industry. It's just like the banking industry. It's just like the housing industry. Every fucking time an industry was like, we're going to do stupid shit to exploit loopholes to fucking maximize profit with zero regard for future fucking consequences. Here come the American taxpayer and the politicians going, we got the bill. And it's like, what's this we shit, white man?
We, yeah.
No, we paying the bill. You're taking the credit for it. I saved this. You didn't save shit. You just spent a lot of people's money. That's all the fuck you did. And you didn't even do it efficiently. This is my question here. Why are we as the population who deals and elects these morons, basically hires them to do the jobs they do, we try to at least, as much as they'll let us, why are we not looking at this like a business transaction? What are we getting for our fucking money? What are we getting for these student loan forgiveness? I'm cool with forgiving $10,000 to people who in STEM and in highly demanded fields who have degrees. I have no problem with that. I'm cool with that a lot more, and I'm cool of $10,000 of any of our fucking money bombing a village somewhere. That I have no problem with those people. I'd rather help our own people than kill people that I have no beef with. So, you see what I'm saying? Like, why are we not looking at it like that? And here's the thing. Everyone's arguing about, this is so unfair. I didn't have mine paid for. Blah, blah, blah. You're looking at it the wrong fucking way, man. Enlighten your fucking
what way we're supposed to look at it.
A little bit. Look at it from the big point of view. If this is going to happen, and it's going to happen, here's where Republicans need to embrace their inner Democrat and start fucking going, we're going to regulate the fuck out of this. STEM fields, and I would support this. I think this you could get bipartisan support for. STEM fields and fields that are in high demand. And by the way, that number we will be updating in real time, ASAP, quarterly to yearly. So don't think you're going to come in here with some bullshit from 15 years ago saying that underwater basket weaving was in high demand and we're going to pay for it. Fuck that. That was 15 years ago. What's in high demand now? No one's talking about this. The media is not even, they're just posing it as these people are getting free shit. Get mad or get happy.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at.
I mean, I'm sorry. I did more thinking than any politician who has sold you this bill of goods has done. And you know what? Even if I was elected, I would refuse to serve. Because I know I'm not fucking the right person for it. But God damn it, I got better ideas than politicians. There's a fucking problem here, folks.
My big issue with this is, you're right, everyone's throwing a fit over it. There are very few people who are happy with this. And it's either because, like Chris was saying, someone has already paid theirs off and they're pissed off about it. Why is someone else getting a break that I had to struggle to pay off? And I know those people. I know people who were so, proud of themselves for working and paying off their student loans. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of that, you have the people who were saying $10,000 a drop in the bucket. We need more.
Yeah, I saw an article about, guess who's not happy, Rich? Guess who's not happy? They got, I'll give you 5 letters to guess.
NCAA?
You're in the right group of letters. NCAA is sports.
No, that's only 4.
Yeah.
NAACP?
Yes. That the 10,000 student loan is racist because it affects people of color disproportionately, it's not enough. It should be at least $50,000.
Okay, then send your representative and go have them fucking argue on your behalf. Why the fuck? If you want to be this monolithic group who I'm supposed to fucking always go, look, a black person, never just a person, an individual, a person who has individual wants, needs, has personal autonomy.
like,
I'm just supposed to look at it and go, oh, a black person.
It's like,
hi, black person. Then fuck, how am I supposed to negotiate for you? It would be white-splaining for us to assume we knew what you need. So negotiate your own contract. But by the way, stop trying to do it on the backs of what the fuck's already been done. Why don't you make some go in and be like, oh, by the way, it is disproportionately. Make your plea to whoever you got to make your plea to. But no, what's going to happen? Send us money and we'll handle this situation. Everybody who's outraged by this.
That's how money always seems to fix fucking everything.
It doesn't fix shit, but it makes a whole lot of people in a very select club
we keep
at the top very happy to keep shit that
last
way.
5 years, we keep hearing how it's going to fix slavery.
That's never...
A bunch of people start getting money. Boy, that's going to erase slavery.
Okay, slavery that's going on still right now as we sit and talk and record this show? Or are we worried about slavery? Are we still trying to catch up to modern day slavery?
No, I'm talking like Django Unchained slavery.
No, I know. I'm pointing that out.
I know. I'm just being casually racist.
So, look, here, I paid off my student loan. I went to a broadcast school, so dynamite drop in, Monty. That broadcast school's really paying off. It's that's it. That's what the fuck I spent my money on. So I really don't have a dog in this fight because my shit's been paid off.
We do have a dog in this fight. You fucking paid your shit off.
Like 13, 14, 15 years ago, whatever the fuck it was.
In your 20s when you don't have money. You paid your fucking loans off. I did that one off too. Like I said, generations of people have fucking done this shit. Just because we got 2 in college now that are whiny fuckers.
Well, here's the issue. What do you do for people? What are they going to do for people who are like, all right, look, I've already paid my shit back. If enough of those people get together and they make enough noise, that'll throw a monkey wrench into the works to where if they want to really try to save this program, they're going to have to fucking make amends to it. Or amendments to it as they go along. So I don't see what
I don't know if I said this in the chat or when we were recording. Like my nephew just graduated in June. Does he got $10K to go to college? Does he got just $10K hanging out? Like this?
Maybe we have to explain very basic shit to people, but what is the thought process? We're going to give tax breaks to people who had over 10 grand in student loans, but they've already paid it off. Okay, now the taxpayers aren't paying taxes. How are you going to give these $10,000 forgiveness away? Because that's all tax money. There's not private businesses kicking in to fucking pay for that shit. They're not doing it out the kindness of their fucking heart. I mean, and you think a fucking university is going to come up off some money to fucking to forgive a student for anything? Get the fuck out of here. They're worse than hospitals almost.
And don't fret about the banks, everybody, because you know what's going to happen. We keep hearing about the corporations got to pay. The banks are going to make out of it. The banks are going to be able to write all this shit off. They're going to be able to deduct this from their income. Didn't make it. It's because that's how it goes. That's the tax code.
Well, this is why I don't know how to feel half the time, because this whole situation is either greed run amok or just incompetence and hubris on a level that I can't even fucking imagine. Like suicidal levels of overconfidence and hubris. And just never me. It'll never be me. And either way, it's not good. I don't know, whatever.
Well, this will inevitably end up coming back on the taxpayer. Everyone's going to end up paying for this. And that's what shit. It's like we were talking about, the people who have paid their student loans off, now their taxes are going to go up to pay off other people's student loans.
That's what I'm saying. If we're gonna act like this is 100% money in the bank guaranteed to happen just the way we've been talking about it, what the fuck are the American taxpayer, the people paying the bill for this shit, getting for their fucking purchase? That needs to be the first question. That needs to be the fire that you set to hold these motherfuckers' feet to and hold them accountable. How you do that, I don't fucking know. I don't have money, so they don't listen to me. You listen to me. All 2 of you listen to our podcast. We appreciate it. You can donate at ChristopherMedia.net.
I have almost exactly $10,000 in student loans.
See?
So thank you, taxpayers.
There you go.
Oh.
Thanks, Sleepy Joe.
There you go. Sleepy Joe wants you to remember him in the voting booth. Remember who did that for you? The blue guys.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's be honest here, okay? Because there would be people who would try to frame it as like you're going to take that money and add a West Wing onto your house. You know what I'm saying? You know, like. Well, I was going to pay back the student loan, but instead I'll do some frivolous, privileged bullshit with it. Blah 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 blah. And it's just like, no, we're going to have a couple extra bucks every month.
Yeah,
that's really what it kind of boils down to for most people.
You know what a lot of dipshits will do? Oh, I can go out and buy something now and have a new payment because I don't have to pay for the student loan anymore.
Dude, you are such a fucking cuck for capitalism. That's how capitalism works. How can you criticize a system that you fucking just you worship at the altar of? Like every time I say shit like that, it's like, well, that's how shit works.
Well, because basic capitalism means you have to have more left over than what you started with.
But the way we do shit in this country,
and giving it all away and having nothing left
debt.
Over is not good capitalism.
We run shit on debt in this country. The more debt you carry, the more you're worth. That's fucked up, but how many times have we had these conversations? How many times have you guys had these conversations in your life at this point with either friends or family, whether it be nieces, nephews, whatever, younger cousins, that like, no. It's worse to have no credit than bad credit.
Yes.
It's counterintuitive is what I'm saying. Like, and it's the system that's like, how the fuck? And it's like, but no. This isn't gamed. The system is not meant to work like the way it is. We are fucking gaming the system and like putting duct tape on shit to be like, it'll hold for now. And we're like, what the fuck's going to happen? That's what I've been saying. And it's like you're saying the same thing. We're just coming from two different sides to arrive at the same all roads lead to Rome type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I guess, I don't know. There you go. I just reasoned my way to where like I was getting ready to disagree with you. Now I'm like, I guess we're in the same boat. So there you go. But no, I do maintain it. This feels like this is exactly what the fuck. This feels exactly like what the fuck I heard millennials claiming they didn't want to happen to them. And it's like, now it's like, okay, fuck it, do it, which is to kicking the can down the road. Let the next generation deal with it. Because all I fucking have heard from millennial media for at least a decade easily now. And when I say millennial media, mostly online media that's run for the most part by millennials or whatever, is boomers leaving us with all this bullshit, leaving us with all this debt, leaving us with a broken system, a fucked up fucking planet, blah, 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 blah. And how can they do this? How can they do this to us? This is damning us to fucking, we're not going to do as well as they did. We're not going to have as good of a life as they did. And like, forgetting the fact that, once again, erasure of an entire generation there.
Gen X is sitting here like that Kermit meme.
Yeah, just like
sipping
drinking
our tea.
Yeah. Like, that's none of my business.
Yeah.
But I mean, and now it's like this feels like this is what has happened. This feels like DC is giving millennials like, here's your pound, or not your pound of flesh, but for the pound of flesh we're going to take from you, here's your bit of fucking salt and sugar to make the medicine go down.
You think this is an accident? This happened in a year when the midterms, or Democrats expecting to get their ass handed to them?
Of course not. And I mean, and it's like, okay,
here you go, young people. Remember us in November.
How long have they been sitting on this and planning this? Because here's the deal. This would probably be a lot bigger story if it still wasn't for that Supreme Court shit. Mm-hmm. And that Supreme Court, that fucking Supreme Court ruling or whatever the fuck, because everybody's now arguing about the definition of what the fuck it was. And I'm like, does it matter at this point? We know what we're talking about. Stop being so fucking pedantic, you assholes. But anyways, ever since that, I think that didn't happen and that didn't pan out for the Democrats, like, and the Republicans, like they thought it would, expected it would. I think it actually boosted the Democrats.
Well, no.
And it really made a lot of Republicans look like, hey, Grandpa, you want to join us in the 21st century?
I actually think the needle's kind of just not moved as much as they thought it would. I think, quite honestly, because when everyone's paying $5 for gas and we're at 10% inflation, it didn't make as big of a ruckus, I think, as they thought it would.
For a lot of women in their mid 30s and let's say mid 30s to 50s, I that have never shown any interest in politics that I've known for decades. Oh boy, this really lit a fire under their ass. Don't know what the fuck, if anything, they'll do with it, but
I said, how many?
There's a whole lot of. I mean, dude, it's been
in
months
3
now.
months. Yeah.
Well, it's been months already, and there's sustained fucking anger online, and I'm like, wow, really? Okay, all right. So I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. It had an effect, but I don't think I don't think anyone thought it was like, oh, this is going to actually drag people who are pretty much apolitical and force them to pick a side, and you just fucking made it real easy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's being sold to them as they want you to die instead of have an abortion, and I'm like, what states really say that?
Right?
I'm sure there's 3, 4, 5, whatever, but how many states are really no, we don't care. We'll kill everyone in the state, but we won't abort one baby. We'll commit mass genocide, but we won't abort one baby, because that's how it's being presented. You know what I'm saying? That states are making the laws like that, and I'm just like, what are the strictest laws?
Well, and a lot of states too are, it's being painted that they don't allow abortions, but they do. They don't allow them past a certain time frame.
Which, I mean, the overwhelming amount of people, even this is so many people agree with this that they will say this in mixed company. Meaning, and I don't mean mixed as far as racial or gender. I'm talking they don't know anybody in the room's political leanings, and people will be comfortable to say, "Oh, I'm good with abortion, but not after the second trimester." No, not unless it's a serious medical thing and somebody's going to die. You had 6 months, bitch, get it together.
Yeah, when it looks like a baby. Yeah,
you didn't just pig out on Taco Tuesday for 6 fucking months.
I don't know
bitch.
what state. It was a state down south, but it was. People were pro clutching, they don't allow abortion past 20 weeks. I'm like, well, yeah, that's 5 months. It's a baby at that point. Yeah, I'm down with that.
You had plenty of time up until this point.
I mean, my standard's been, what is the expect? Can it live outside of the womb without fucking life support?
We're all lockstep there.
Then guess what? It's alive. It's now not an it. Yeah. It's a boy or a girl, unless the doctor guesses their gender wrong. But yeah,
not to be morbid about it, but mom gets in a car accident and they can deliver the baby and the baby can live. That's the time frame, right?
And the only reason I say without life support is because that's for the legal reasons.
Yeah,
because if you don't add that in there, some fucking Twitter fucking lawyers actually shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Roll your ass out of here, Ironside. No one gives a fuck. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of love for lawyers in this house around here right now.
Oh, yeah.
Rich, to circle back to a question you asked a couple months ago, whenever the Roe v. Wade thing was just coming out, and I told you about the Hulu, I think, commercial that I saw that was advertising the abortion pill.
Mm-hmm.
I found the website. It's 3 for Freedom, and they absolutely do advertise that in all 50 states they will send you an abortion pill, and they even have a little disclaimer at the bottom saying that they're prioritizing who is actually pregnant and who just wants to have it for safety.
Well, let's see. I'm dating again. So what's this website?
But it does.
Nutoutsidthebutt.com.
Yeah, right.
Not .net.
Yeah.
It's a difference. It's a little.
Yeah, don't go to .net.
.net gets different. Yeah, it's different. Anyways. Okay, well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Here's the thing. I know it's tacky, but tacky's American as fucking apple pie and baseball, man. We love tacky. We invented velvet fucking Elvis paintings. You know what I'm saying? And there's Velvet Jesus paintings, by the way. Those are disturbing.
Velvet Jesus. That's my rap name.
I'm telling you. It sounds like a male black stripper. And
right.
The token black stripper in an all-male review.
He's definitely a gay stripper. Ladies and gentlemen, Velvet Jesus.
I don't know if you can differ. I think you just have to strip for whoever's there now, unless you're you're istophobic. Like, you just have to shake what your mama gave you for whoever's throwing money at you. Isn't it funny how that works?
And Velvet Jesus only dances to Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye.
But immediately this happens, and then what happens? People just jump into action, not to change shit, not to fucking put the politicians in that they want, that will do what they want, to make money off it. And here we go. And this is what I'm saying. Like, if enough people make money off this, and this becomes an industry of its own, not a cottage industry. Well, maybe a cottage industry in certain states, but it becomes an industry of its own. I'm telling you, people will be like, this will be one of those subjects that another 50 years will go by before some shit is fucking handed down to stir the pot this much in this subject. Well, no, our attention spans are way short. They'll whip it out before 50 years. But I give it like another, decade at least.
Excuse me. Let another judge die. Let another Democrat judge it. It'll be brought. As soon as the court balances out or leans the other way, this comes back again.
I mean, I know it's cynical as fuck, but it just all goes back in my mind to my default belief is it's all about money, and you have to show me different. Why would I assume any different until you've proven to me it's not all about money? And I think that's a fair assumption. And in this situation, I think there's a lot of people that are going to take advantage of a lot of people's misery in this situation, and they're going to pat themselves in the back, and they're going to pad their bank accounts with it. And outside, it's America. I mean, California, your abortion vacation destination. Come here from Texas. Leave your civil liberties at the state line, but we'll kill your baby here. Bring it in here. Come on in. And by the way, just to remind the world real quick, as I think we're done on the abortion shit because we're pretty much all on the same page.
We're talking about student loans.
But I just want to go back and point out that all these people is talking about the fairness and shit and blah 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 and abortion and rights and women's rights are humans' rights. Okay, so if women's rights are human rights and men's rights are human rights, trans rights are human rights, everybody's rights are human rights, right? So,
allegedly,
I'm just going to quote Dave Chappelle and then we can move on. You can have an abortion, but I can abandon the motherfucker. If you can kill it, I can abandon it. So, but now all of a sudden, they don't care about fair.
Yeah.
So now, once again, it's not about fair. It's about perceived power and control. So.
Oh, it's like the shouting match Earl and I got into. Like, takes two people to make that baby, but it only takes one person to say this baby lives or dies. How's that work?
And, I mean, he gave you the answer that he's been programmed to give, which is men can't carry babies. No uterus, no opinion. And I'm like, if women were not allowed to have opinions about things that they had no stake in, no firsthand knowledge of, or no experience in, this world would be a lot quieter. Just pointing that out. So. Like that no uterus, no opinion. You can kiss my ass with that. That's an argument. That's a conversation ender. That's a way to shut someone down. That was like the 80s, 90s pro-choice version of Nazi and fascist today is. When someone calls you that, or I guess on the flip side, a commie or what, socialist, you're like, conversation over. We're not gonna reach any fucking common ground here. Mm-hmm. You've already made your mind up going into this, so we're done. But
if you're name calling, you got no argument left.
That's why I don't subscribe to that. So yeah, but he gave his answer like a good programmed NPC. He threw it out there real quick. He just like he was programmed to, just like he was trained to do, just like that. Yep. So I mean, we all do it to a certain extent. Nothing new here.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
But anyways, moving on.
What's next?
Oh, our AI rapper.
Oh yeah, I don't even know how to say his name.
Oh, let me pull up this article because there was so much to dissect out of this article.
Fucking Mecca or whatever.
Okay, first of all, can I just?
What's this guy's name?
1, 2, 3, not it. Who volunteers to read this article?
Are we reading the article? Or
somebody's got to read this fucking masterpiece of. It sounds like it was written by a retarded AI. I'm telling you, there's parts of this article that I'm like, that doesn't really make any sense. I wonder if this is an elaborate troll job that somehow someone fell for. Looking at you, Chris.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. No, like, I've seen it in several, like, this from Pitchfork. It's not like it's from, like, Bob's website.
I got you. What were you going to say, Jess?
It's effing Mecca.
So that's how you would say that?
Yeah.
Again, by a consonant.
Effin' Mecca?
Effing Mecca. But it's F-in Mecca.
M-E-C-A, or M-E-K-A.
Yes.
Okay, so because Mech is M-E-C-H, Mecca is M-E-C-H-A. That's nerdy robotic sci-fi shit.
But also M-E-C-C-A, like Islam. There's also that.
It sounds like they're phonetically trying to spell Mecca, but whatever. And if it's an AI, I guess it could name itself that because it might not understand the finer parts of English. Which I've been seeing a lot of memes online about if you had to learn English as a second language, like people that do that, they're like, congratulations, because I would just look at the word yacht and give up. It's
accurate.
And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of fair, man. All right, who's reading this shit? I ain't doing it.
All right, so apparently, just some context before I read this. Apparently this is from Fortnite. Am I wrong, Jess?
I did not. I skimmed it.
I think he was made by, like, data from Fortnite. Like, all right.
We'll get into it, yeah. We'll find it.
Okay,
in
so
there.
Okay, yeah. It probably maybe the data used to construct the AI was collected from Fortnite, like chat logs or something like that.
Pitchfork. It's from Pitchfork.com. Capitol Records severs ties with AI rapper Effin Mecca, issues apology after facing criticism for gross stereotypes. On August 14th, Capitol Records announced that it had signed Effin Mecca, a digital rapper and TikTok influencer described by the label as the world's first AR artist to sign with a major label. A press release from Effin Mecca's 2021 publicist, a fucking AR artist has a goddamn publicist, described Mecca as an AI-powered robot rapper. Mecca's first single on the label was Florida Water, which featured Gunna and gaming streamer Clicks. As of today, Effin Mecca is no longer on a major label. Capitol has announced that it has severed ties with the rapper, according to the failing New York Times. CMG has severed ties with the Effin Mecca project effective immediately, the label noted in a statement. We offer our deepest apologies to the black community for our insensitivity in signing this project without asking enough questions about equity and the creative process behind it. We thank those who have reached out to us with constructive feedback in the past couple of days. Your input, blah, 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 the lawyer wrote it. Just hours before Capitol made the announcement, the activist group Industry Blackout released a statement calling for the label to cut ties with Effin Mecca. It specifically noted Gunna's involvement with this project while being incarcerated on RICO charges. The indictment specifically cited Gunna and Young Thug's lyrics. The activist group's statement reads, "It has come to our attention that your company has decided to partner with Factory New on signing the artificially designed rapper Effin Mecca. While we applaud innovation in tech that connects listeners to music and enhances the experience, we find fault in the lack of awareness and how offensive this character is. It's a direct insult to the black community and our culture, an amalgamation of gross stereotypes, appropriative mannerisms that derive from black artists, complete with slurs infused in lyrics. The digital effigy is a careless abomination and disrespectful to real people who face real consequences in real life. For example, Gunna, a black artist who is featured on a song with Effin Mecca, is currently incarcerated for rapping the same type of lyrics this robot mimics. The difference is, your artificial rapper will not be subject to federal charges for such. Well, also, the digital rapper didn't break the fucking law. There's that. He didn't commit a crime."
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like if Michael Corleone got on stage and admitted to killing people, like I had my brother Fredo killed, it'd be like, arrest Al Pacino? No, you don't. It's a fictional character. It is the same concept. Fuck off. It's no deeper than that. There's no need to get any deeper than that. It's the same fucking concept. I'm not buying that these AIs are self-aware, like Skynet self-aware. They're just still they're highly fucking tweaked tech to take in a lot of information and pour out shit that is it seems to be mostly you can follow. But like I said, in the past there has been, I think it was called Tay, this AI bot that you could chat with online, and whatever websites that they fed the bot to create the AI. This AI came back talking about Hitler did nothing wrong. Oops. And I'm just like, and people were mad. And I'm like, what are you mad at?
Yeah.
Are you mad at
It just gathered data.
That's like if you went to Coachella the year they had the Tupac fucking hologram, and you're mad because you feel like you didn't get your money's worth because you could see
That ain't Tupac.
Yeah, like, that ain't real Tupac. He's dead, bitch. What did you expect?
Yeah.
By the way, is this?
Yes. Shocking. It sounds
Hold on.
Well, no, this looks like a real person.
So is it just written?
I don't know.
Because they had like some cyberpunk looking picture in the article. Which, if you follow us on social media, the article should be posted by the time this episode's posted. So, if you don't follow us already, follow us now. There's my shilling for the week. Fuck it.
I don't find this fool before I keep reading because there's a lot fucking more. I'm not even done with the fucking statement from Black whatever.
Okay, well, let's hit pause for a second because I got an observation here. To me, it sounds like this is an excuse to get that tech company or the people behind this AI and behind this quote-unquote augmented reality artist to get their name out there. And they're basically buddying up with these fucking activist group to get their name out there also. Because this is the most polite, back and forth, and quick folding to pressure I've ever seen. How are you going to fold the pressure that no one knew existed until you folded? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it seems very contrived. It seems very put on. It seems very planned out. Very like somebody did this because, this will get a marketing person came up with this is what I'm saying.
I don't get it. Is one of these people supposed to be this dude?
Well, if that's the case, then it's the Gorillas. Or any other group who's had like cartoonish or fake persona.
Well, no, just because I seen
Chris, what's his name? Gaines.
But I'm just saying, no, I seen the one Star Wars though, where the dude who's been dead for 20 years was in the whole movie. Like, is the CGI that good that one of these guys is fake and I can't tell? I guess is what I'm getting at.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's
picture
weird.
are you looking at?
I'm watching the video.
Oh. Yeah, mine just pauses at advertisements. So I was over, I was like, this is a commercial, guys.
I can't see what the fuck he's looking at. So
it's
literally, we're on an audio format where he's watching something that only he can see. So I can't even tell you about it.
Broken. We got to get a different cable. Usually you can see what I'm watching on there.
What do you need?
We had a cable that went into the pins, but we need one that goes into the USB-C. Since I upgraded the laptop, I don't have the connection that matches the cable that we have. All right, whatever. It's mumble rap bullshit, so we know it's not mind breaking. So,
yeah, and it's also fucking auto-tuned to hell and back. So, yeah.
So, all right, the blowhardiness continues. For your company to approve this shows a serious lack of diversity and resounding amount of tone-deaf leadership. This is simply unacceptable and will not be tolerated. We demand this part. First of all, there's, the last few years, there's a lot of fucking demands. Like, we're all fucking hostages. We demand this partnership be terminated, a formal public apology be issued, Effin Mecca removed from all platforms. Well, he's still on YouTube, so you can get that one. Furthermore, all money spent by Capitol Records and Factory New for this project will be allocated to charitable organizations that directly support black youth in the arts, as well as marketing budgets for black artists signed to Capitol Records. We look forward to your response and compliance. Hey, look, more money that's going to fix things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this just reeks of a publicity stunt or a marketing stunt to raise their fucking... They used to call, like, 10 years ago, it used to be called your Q rating. I don't know what they call it now because apparently because of Trump and Q, we can't say anything with the word Q in it. So Q-Bert's been canceled and Q rating.
Oh, poor Q-Bert.
Yeah. So I don't know what they call it now, but it just sounds like he's just trying to raise your profile. Basically, that's what it sounds like. It sounds so fucking fake, man.
Well, this project has been criticized after clips went viral of the rapper using the N-word in a song. A fake person, by the way. People also pointed out to an image shared on one of Mecca's accounts of the rapper being brutalized by police. Factory New co-founder Anthony Martini said in 2021 that F and Mecca was voiced by a human, but its lyrics and song structures come from AI. He was created using thousands of data points compiled from video games and social media, Martini said. He continued, the old model of finding talent is inefficient and unreliable. It requires spending time scouring the internet, traveling to shows, flying to meetings, expending resources, all in search of the magic combination of qualities that just might translate into a superstar act.
Okay, hold on. Real quick. This is fake as fuck. And this, I'm going to prove it right here. That is not at all how fucking acts are broke anymore. They are not spending all that money. They are not flying anywhere. All that shit can be done online. They wait for fucking them people to get a presence and a following online. Then they swoop in.
Well, he did start with scouring the internet.
Okay, that's it. What did Goebbels say? You always give them a little bit of the truth, and then you feed them the bullshit lie, because then it's like, well, of course that's true. Duh. Come on, man. That's straight bullshit, and they're telling you it's bullshit. That is not how it works. That is not how the industry works these days. I know too many people still in the industry, and I'm talking deeper in the industry to the point where they make a fucking career out of it, who tell me different. So, yeah, it's anecdotal evidence. Kiss my ass. But, like, there's peer-reviewed studies on this shit, right? Come on now.
But so you look on the internet, then you go see the band, then you fly to a meeting. Like, how does it not work like that?
How many bands play live these days? Seriously. I'm talking bands that record labels are looking to turn into top 40 or top 100 acts. How many of them play live, and is that an important thing? Billie Eilish, I don't think it ever played a fucking show live as far as Billie Eilish. She was just recording music with her brother when she was a teenager. Justin Bieber, except for talent shows and fucking church shows, got found because he was playing an acoustic guitar and singing covers on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? That's bullshit. This is fucking fake. I mean, it's real.
I bet they flew to meet him.
But it's fake. Well, now, but honestly, yeah, they're going to fly you.
And honestly, I can't answer that. I haven't played a show in 10 years. I can't answer how it's been the last 10 years.
It's the old rock dogs, and it's a very select group of fucking very small fucking genres and scenes. From what I know now, the smart bands play a show like once a month, and they just do everything online. Like you build the buzz online. You play out once a month. You get the people in the show, and when you play out once a month, and you're selling 150 tickets, and maybe even getting a tiny fucking cut of the bar or whatever, plus a little bit of a guarantee. That's nice. But there's people who fucking have DJ'd in fucking Fortnite for millions of fucking people in one server, online at once and shit, and they've never fucking played a live show. They've just put music out. Or they're not DJ'd, but more like Fatboy Slim. One man music project type stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. I mean, that's where a lot of this shit comes from. The producers, the writers, and then they go find the faces, the people that they can put out front. That I believe, but that is like more like you're looking through a catalog going, who fits the look we want to present with this music.
Well, you make them look that way too.
Well,
That's what stylists are for.
But dude, you're a musician, you're an artist. You have to start with something. Sculptors can look at a piece of rock and see the sculpture inside the rock. They just take away what needs to be taken away. That's what I'm saying. That I might buy, that there's actual physical money being spent. I mean, flesh being pressed, people showing up for auditions and shit like that. But like this bullshit, like attitude of like, oh, we're sending A&R men out up and down the Sunset Strip 6-7 days a week.
That's not what he said.
We scour the internet, or
he said scouring the internet, traveling to shows, flying to meetings, expending resources, all in search of the magic combination of qualities that just might translate into a superstar act.
Yeah, that makes it sound like his entire day is flying across the country looking at acts. I highly doubt that, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is so fucking put on and bullshit. This shit is it's genius. It's genius marketing.
See, I'm not gleaning
We're
that's his
talking
daily
about
life. I'm gleaning that's what it takes. I'm not saying that happens every day.
Believe me, if they make a documentary about this, for whatever reason, if there's a documentary made about this situation, this guy's going to be on there like, I'm sweating blood. And he's that type of guy.
Anyways, we're in the weeds. Let's come back from the weeds. Blah, blah, blah. Even with all the money, now we can literally custom create artists using the elements proven to work, greatly increasing the odds of success. Even if we can get to a 2% success rate, then we've doubled the industry standard. And yeah, and that's so because internet data told this thing what to say. Like the initial reactions I had of it was like, hey, you know what? Sometimes the truth is racist. Sometimes the internet might be racist. Sometimes, like we've talked about this before, the truth sometimes don't care.
What the fuck is racist about if this is an AI built on?
It's like you're trying to build, yeah.
If it's built on hip hop, modern hip hop, there's a whole genre that has been dominating in and out with its subgenres and shit, but it's been like an overarching like dominant influence in hip hop. It's called trap music. Trap means the trap house. That's the drug house. Ain't nothing changed. It's the same. It's the in the 70s it was Curtis fucking Mayfield. No, singing about Superfly. In the 80s it was Ice-T. In the 90s it was NWA or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? You get my point. Like, duh. If you wrote, it's like if it was a country AI and you wrote a song about like heartbreak or drinking beer on a lake on a Saturday night. You're shocked that's what a country artificial intelligence come up with?
If AI wrote a country song, there'd be beer drinking, hell raising, Saturday night would be mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah. Some weekend night, Friday, Saturday.
There'd be a Kid Rock cameo.
Don't forget the Lord. The Lord. There's some would be mention of some religious reference.
I'm gonna party so hard on Saturday night. The Lord, I'm gonna need the Lord's forgiveness on Sunday morning.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, you should write country song.
Yeah, see, it's all right. Look, I'll play along. I'm just saying this is sending some fucking flags up in my head. This sounds way too fucking well thought out and contrived. This is almost plotted out. Like this is like, here's controversy ready made and served. Here, will you bite? And it's like, yeah, we bit. It's an interesting story. It's funny, but ultimately, the implication to me is a little bit more scary. Like, what happens with artists who have passed away? What happens? And I'm not talking like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like when he died, his brother controls his shit. Him and his brother are like 2 years apart. So, I mean, if he lives to the expected average American age, he's going to be around for quite a while to watch over his legacy. It's when you get 1 or 2 generations removed from the artist, a family that didn't know him, like Jimi Hendrix.
Can we get AI Hendrix?
Well, no, because we're going to get more Jimi Hendrix toilet seats. Like I got in magazines when they tried to sell it to me. And I'm like, what do you do? This is the antithesis of what Hendrix stood for and wanted.
I'll say, what market research told you people wanted that?
To sit on Hendrix's face and shit. Well, if I want to sit on a black man's face and shit, it's going to be R. Kelly.
When you're going to rock concerts, right, and you're looking for something to take home, is toilet seat anywhere on the fucking list?
No, but neither is Coffins, but Kiss makes them. And now other bands do too. I'm sure there's Pantera coffins somewhere. I'm sure there's fucking...
Got bullholes in them? Oh, too soon?
Well, I was going to say like Alice in Chains coffin, but like they've actually buried half that band, so that's probably in very poor taste.
Yes. Half of the original lineup.
Is this Delane Staley fucking signature model? Anyways.
can only hold 100 pounds.
That's, I mean, and then, going from there, I mean, like, is this... How can this be implemented in day-to-day life? Because, I mean, from what I understand, there's software engineers because, the whole we're pushing to be progressive in every aspect of life, even if it doesn't require it to function. And programming is definitely not a fucking area that requires it, but there's programmers out there who are wanting to implement AI who will correct problematic writing that you're doing on the program you're using to write on in real time, and like things like that. Like that's the shit that I'm like.
Isn't problematic subjective? Like what I think is problematic and what you think is problematic are, well, not me and you, but you know, like it's the royal me and you, two different things. Jess may think different things are problematic than both of us.
Probably.
Ooh, is this? Are we back to the old cliche? Who's policing the police?
Well, I mean, we're seeing the technology; it's available, and they're drawing attention to it for some reason. So, I mean, is this like a plea for more investors to fucking expand to try to get this out? Is this a way to like create new industry plants that? See, now that is what I'm saying.
But I know in San Francisco a couple years ago they took AI software out of their cameras because racist.
Yeah, because it was identifying people of color.
Well, if they were
if
they were breaking the law,
it's facial recognition software. It's recognizing faces.
Yeah,
you're mad because it's doing what it's supposed to do. Sure, okay. Or are you mad that it's catching people, more people of a certain group than you would are more are comfortable admitting, doing shit that you don't want to admit happens.
The Jim Carrey line from the movie Liar Liar. Stop breaking the law, asshole.
Anyways,
yeah.
No, that's where my concerns go. Is how far is this going to be used? I mean, honestly, if you're a musician at this point, I think you're a fool if you're not doing everything on your own. I mean, I've recently just through pure fuckery found myself on like websites like Bandcamp and stuff, and I see bands who are music projects, who are people who have a following, put out albums, sell, 60, 70,000 copies of it. But that makes them John Grisham in their world because they have day jobs. They're part-time professional musicians. It's the opposite of what we fucking thought we had to do. Be full-time professional musicians and part-time jobs. No. Go get a career and then do music part-time. And now you can do it with never even leaving your fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do it with live musicians. Not that complicated. So I mean, like, what is the point? I mean, like, if I'm seeing this as a person who hasn't played in a band in over a decade, and I'm seeing the writing on the wall, people in the industry got to be seeing the writing on the wall. So is this like maybe the industry going, we can latch on to this and create industry plants, create artists?
We don't even need artists anymore. We don't even got to find you. We can just make you.
Well, what was the band in the 60s that they did that with? What was it, Archie and the...
Well, the Monkees were...
Well, no. I'm talking literally it was like the first cartoon band. And it was Archie and the... Was it the Archies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I mean, then you had the Gorillas in the 2000s. I mean, the concept's been done before, but it's usually been done for, you guys are really too ugly to be fucking doing this, a.k.a. Milli Vanilli situation. Right. Or it's been an artistic concept like Damon...
Does Metalocalypse count?
Yeah, kind of. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's more of like an artistic or a satirical take on shit. So, yeah. But it's coming from more of that type thing. Or, like I said, just pure, like, you're too ugly. We can't put you out front. Yeah. Sorry. So... I don't know, Jess. Let me ask you a question.
One look at Gene Simmons. Let's paint that face.
You have kids who are like around the age where they're this seems like it's something that would be aimed for more kids who are younger. Get them in, especially since they're talking about like they got some of this information to feed the AI from like video games and Fortnite or whatever and shit. That just screams fucking like we're aiming for a younger demographic here.
Okay.
Do you? I mean, does it even cross your kid's mind, or any of the kids like around your kids' friends who you hear talking or you overhear? Like, do they ever talk about like anything like this? Would they care even that if they heard a song they liked that it's an AI artist, it's not a real person, or would they even be like aware of the artist, or would they even you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't matter.
So. As far as my kids and the kids that my kids hang out with, what they are most concerned with is what video game they heard it off of. So they don't know the artist. We drove around for a year listening to the frickin' Subnautica soundtrack, which is a video game.
No, I got what I have you because I'm in the know. But yeah, for normies, you got to explain it for Chris. But yeah. But that's okay. He doesn't play video games because he spends so much time working on fantasy football that he's going to come and whoop our ass like he does every year. Wait a minute. I forgot. You don't win at all.
Nope, not in that league.
Sorry.
I got nothing to say.
It's coming up. So it's like, fuck it. All right, might as well throw my one shot of the year in. There you go. Enjoy.
Hey.
That's all the shit I talk usually. Like
Hope
one
springs
time per
eternal. We're all 0-0 right now, baby.
Absolutely true. So like video games are okay. Now, when you say like, is this licensed music, meaning like songs that they pay for the right to use, or is this original music that's made for the video games?
The Subnautica soundtrack was original music. The other songs, it's all just hit or miss. Anytime I've ever gone to look it up, it's never an artist that I recognize, and it usually is like fan-made music videos. They're just very lower tier artists. I don't know the politically correct way to say that.
Hey, you know, on the show, I don't know. I haven't played the show in like 10 years, but it used to be a bunch of bands you never heard of. The songs that would play while you're playing.
I still play the show, and yeah, but I mean, like, that's not really fair because it was like a lot of like artsy fartsy fucking indie bands for a minute there. No, it wasn't the show. It was another sports game, but it was baseball related. But that's just interesting. So, like, okay, so because you're not the first to say that, like, video games is one of the main delivery methods or discovery methods for music and shit for their kids. And my buddy, I think his daughter is like around the same age as your kids, so or his two kids actually around the same age as your kids. So
okay.
But yeah, it's just so. I mean, obviously, them seeing if there was a video released and it was an animated video or something of a record company created AI presented, blah blah blah. It doesn't sound like it would be like, oh, this is cheesy. I mean, you're always going to have a certain percentage of kids who are going to hate whatever's popular.
Right. No, my kids could not care less.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean, like, it's just that's what I'm saying. Like, so they know their audience enough to know, well, we'll just put out whatever, and they can do it. So I mean, that's like, I guess from purely a business standpoint, it makes sense to try to fucking test the waters with this type of stuff. And to be brutally honest with you, I know I'm fucking get off my lawn old because that sounded like 90% of the other fucking rappers that I've heard for the last 7-8 years. So
not down with the trap music.
I mean, I like some of the beats and shit, but then half the beats are just 808s and bass drops. I'm like, we had that in the 80s.
Cool. You have an 808 and you've learned how to use the triplet function. Good for you. Oh, you've learned how to make the snare do a roll, or the hi-hat do a roll sound. Congrats.
But I mean, here's my question. I almost want to come back to this story in like a month and do a search on it and see if there's any his story has any heat, because I don't think the story has any juice. I don't think anyone's going to give a fuck. I don't think this is going to turn into like some cause celebra or some bullshit that some little corner of the internet's going to pick up and the right media people are going to find. I think this is going to just be like I said, that's why I'm saying this seems very contrived, constructed, and fake to me. This seems like pay attention to us. And I'm sorry. I know if drug dealers can work together to make a profit who hated each other 10 minutes ago, okay, if they can fucking find a way to work together to make a profit, then these a tech corporation and some activist group can find a way to come some common ground to make profit.
What's in it for Capitol Records to be labeled racist? What's in it for them?
No, they dropped it. They dropped that artist immediately. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like, this isn't like, oh, this has been a call that we've been hearing for months. This is Capitol Records almost releasing a press statement going, oh, yeah, we're dropping this AI artist. And it's like, we didn't know you had one. Okay, good for you. Who the fuck else knew you had him? Nobody. That's what I'm saying. That's what gives it an air of inauthenticity. Whether or not everybody's worried about optics, this is a bad look. It's a bad look, that's all I'm saying.
All right. So what's up next?
With Fauci retiring.
Which didn't he say, like, in this old news? Didn't we already know this? And then he came out and said, I'm not retiring, and now he's retiring?
Was that him, or was that Circle Back? I know she did it a couple times. Psaki?
No, she's young. She wouldn't retire.
She retired from her position. But no, I remember Fauci saying that he would be, he'd probably retire at the end of this presidency, but now it's in December. And here's the thing about him. He says that he's excited to see what next steps he's going to take in his career.
Ain't he like 80-something?
He's 81.
Yeah, how about you just chill?
Go take a nap, homie.
Yeah. How about enjoy like the last decade-ish you have left?
Yeah, so that's finally happening. He's finally going to be retiring. On kind of that same note, and I mentioned this in the pre-show, I have not had a chance to read this entire article, but there was an article done by Politico where they were blaming Trump for putting pressure on the FDA to rush the vaccines.
So it's Trump's fault that the vaccines don't work?
Yes.
Of course, because it keeps them in the headlines.
Vaccines that absolutely 100% did work because the Biden administration took a victory lap and spent its first 6 months after being inaugurated talking about checks in the bank and shots in the arm. Now it's Trump's fault, huh? Okay.
Yep.
President can't affect the price of gas, right? But when it goes down, well, I mean, fuck it. Whatever. That's the American way. Privatize profit, socialize loss. It's everybody else's fault. But when I win, that's me, baby. All by my lonesome.
There's credit to take. I will take it. If there's blame,
I will duck that.
It's your fault.
I will dodge that shit like a wrench in the movie Dodgeball.
Yeah.
If you dodge a wrench, you dodge ball.
The statement that's in here is the select subcommittee's finding that Trump's White House officials deliberately and repeatedly sought to bend FDA's specific scientific work on coronavirus treatment and vaccines to the White House's political will are yet another example of how the prior administration prioritized politics over public health, says House Majority Whip Jim Clyburn from South Carolina, who also chairs at this subcommittee. Apparently there's a subcommittee happening right now, another Trump subcommittee that we're just supposed to be, like, I guess, paying attention to. These assaults on our nation's public health institution undermine the nation's coronavirus response, he says.
Can you prove it? It's my question. Or does this all just sound fun to be quoted in the news?
It talks about emails. There's emails collected over the course of the subcommittee's investigation where Navarro and Hatfield, who apparently worked for Trump on this, put pressure on Hahn to reinstate the emergency use authorization for hydroxychloroquine after the agency revoked it in June 2020.
So they were pushing for the chloroquine.
Yes.
Well, but which ultimately wasn't approved. So what's the bee in his bonnet?
That he's saying that the Trump administration was pushing for that even though it was scientifically disproven.
I have to ask this. I'm sorry. Are we all cognizant of the fact that Trump's critics can't get on the same page as to what he was trying to nefariously do during the fucking pandemic?
Yes.
Because if he was pushing this vaccine, then how was he anti-vaccine? While being vaccinated, by the way. And saying that people need to get vaccinated to the point where Fox News actually attacked him in their fucking op-eds. I mean, like, all this is predicated upon a pile of bullshit. That's why I have a hard time talking about this shit, because I don't care what these people fucking say, because I know what they've been fucking saying.
Right.
I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to believe about Trump as the baseline? Get together on that. Decide how you want us to hate the man.
Trump bad.
We'll go from there. That doesn't work for me. I need more than that. That's the problem here. Like,
well, your brainwashing isn't complete yet. Obviously.
No, I know. My struggle session will fucking
Orange
will be
man
legendary.
bad.
I don't even know where to start with all this bullshit. This is all word salad, fucking finger pointing, playing to the fucking choir bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, just trying to put it on the 20, in August 2018, were we still talking about Barack Obama every fucking day?
No,
he didn't make people go click, and he didn't make people turn on the news.
About in August 2017? Were we still talking about Barack Obama?
No, I'm pretty sure we stopped talking about Obama the moment that Trump announced he was running.
Well, except for that was one of the first fucking shots of the when the media was still acting like they were trying to play fair and balanced with Trump, even though he was calling them fake news to their face. That was, well, he is a birther conspiracy theorist, and they thought that was people would be like, oh, no, we can't do that, and then like half the country was like, yeah, so are we.
My homie.
And it was like, yeah, see, that flyover country, it's a lot more people live there than you fucking think, you coastal cocksuckers. Yeah. But, no, and here, okay, then fuck it. Yeah, here's my question. What are they so afraid of then? You don't keep going after someone like this just because. There's no there's profit in it, but I think we know that like this has gotten a lot more personal for a lot more people in the media than it's just let's make some profit off of this shit. Like you can tell a soldier who shoots his rifle because it's his job and a soldier who shoots his rifle because he wants to kill you. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Like I'd say to this Jim Clyburn guy again, like the FDA ultimately did not approve it. What's with the stick up your ass?
Because he was questioned. You can't question their authority. It's treason.
I feel like, again, we're just chasing more orange ghosts. There's other shit we could be doing.
Well, everyone's afraid the orange ghost is going to come back in 2024. That's the whole, and I stand by that. I've been saying that since the whole, committee, the January 6th committee.
And it's funny, I keep reading things that said his influence in the Republican Party is waning, but then I also read in the past week or so, almost every candidate he backed so far has won their midterms.
I don't. The minute that fucking the Mar-a-Lago raid happened, it pretty much galvanized a lot of fucking Republicans who were like, I'm telling you, dude. When DeSantis went and bent the knee, he showed the fucking, he was like, okay, all right, they came after the king. All right, I get it. Like he bent the knee. So come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't turn people against him in the Republican Party like they were expecting. And I don't give a fuck what they're reporting. See, this is the problem. We're talking about reports that I don't believe. That I think are just flat out bullshit. So I can't sit here and deconstruct something built upon, like I said, a fucking foundation of loose horse shit, because it's going to slide all over the place. You can't get any footing. It's useless.
Yeah,
and that's not by accident, folks. I'm not bitching about the topics. I'm bitching about this shit is not by accident. What do you know? What do you know more now that you've heard that fucking? We've talked about this. Trump's bad. This person's mad at Trump. For what? Like I said, once again, what's his fault? What's not? Can we start with that?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with basically the CDC having to come out and say that the pandemic was completely mishandled.
Which we all went, duh.
Right. But the Biden administration isn't going to take credit for that. They're not going to take the fall for that. They're going to do anything they can to just go ahead and toss it on to their one and only scapegoat. Even though every time Biden came out and did anything about the vaccine, what I was afraid of is I remained terrified that he was going to somehow federally mandate it. And so anytime he talked about it, I tuned in and I listened to it, and that's all I heard. This vaccine works. This vaccine works. It's safe and effective, proven safe and effective, over and over and over and over and over again. And now it's like, not so much.
Yeah, now they're just like, it'll keep you out of the hospital.
Maybe.
See,
now they're saying there's no difference between the people who are vaccinated and unvaccinated.
This reminds me of my conversation I had with my buddy Doc. He was this was one of the things he was really critical of the CDC and blah, 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 blah for, how they handle the vax shit. He's like, it's a symptom mitigator. We will refine it as we go. What is so hard about explaining that to the population? And it's like, they didn't say that. And if they'd have just come out and said that instead of, because Jess, you're absolutely right. Now, I wasn't listening to the same fucking news reports you were, but you know what I was listening to? NPR as I was rolling down the road. And they were saying the exact same shit during all that, the same period of time. It's safe. It's effective. It's this. It's that. You know, blah, blah, blah. They didn't pivot to it's a symptom mitigator and it'll keep you from fucking being deathly ill and hospitalization until how many months it had been out?
Right.
Almost double digits.
Yeah. Damn near a year.
And yet it is still required to enter the country.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Sure. Nothing bad can come of that, and we're all, if you feel that there's even a butt hair of a possibility anything bad can come of that, you're a horrible human being and you're an istophobe.
How's that not racist?
I'm sure, well, you're an istophobe. That covers, you hate everything. So,
No, how is requiring a shot to come here not racist? We haven't gotten there yet?
I don't think that the
people of
crossing the border illegally are vaccinated. I think, wasn't that one of the things that they were talking about? Like,
people of color might come here and not want to get their vaccination. Why is it mandated? That's unfair to people of color.
Oh, it's an exemption for refugees.
And there it is.
There we go. There we go. See? Bury the lead. Our government's great at it. This is what they do.
Hey, Whitey, get your shot.
It's not even whitey. Hey, American citizen that we can get guaranteed fucking profit off of. You have to take this. We got to make money off this fucking tragedy.
Wasn't it literally just a couple weeks ago that I sent you guys the article talking about Fauci telling everybody that they were in trouble if they didn't get vaccinated by this winter? And
Yep.
literally, I don't even think we talked about it on the show. If we did, we barely touched on it because it's such a tired old topic. But that was truly less than a month ago.
I remember
right?
seeing it.
Yeah.
And now they're saying like, oh no, this was rushed and the Trump administration made us do it. So where is the future of this vaccine headed now? Are they going to stop recommending it? Are they going to stop requiring it for certain things? Can I go on a cruise now? Like,
well, real quick, because the whole Fauci fucking thing seemed to die on the vine. I just want to say, you want a real good take of Fauci and his clusterfuckery over the last 2.5 years on YouTube. Go to Breaking Points, look up the video. This is the exact title of it: Fauci out, reliving his worst moments. Go ahead and watch it. It's a 14-minute video, and there you go. That's what's leaving. That's what's retiring, stepping down, whatever. In other words, we're not losing much. Doesn't really seem like he's very competent when you put all his quotes over a 2.5 year period back to back to back to back.
I trusted him at the beginning.
A lot of people did though, because it's human nature to want to trust people on this shit.
do you remember the other doctor at the beginning, Deborah
Birx.
Birx? She's come out now and she said like, oh, we knew we were overselling it.
She also said that we were getting all of our data from Europe because they were coming out with it quicker, and she knew we were in trouble if we were getting our data from Europe. She's like, how are we not getting our data quick? She was basically said we were getting the European data was coming in quicker than data from our own country.
Of course.
I don't even really need a conspiracy to imagine what happened there. Just pure
Bureaucracy.
Bureaucratic incompetence. That's as American as apple pie in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever had to deal with a DMV or a Secretary of State, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Well, I mean, he steps down. Okay, great, wonderful. I still maintain, like, what the fuck was he doing in this job for almost 50 years? Because the vast majority of people won't stay in a job unless it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you just keep that job? You know what I'm saying? And
I think it's something that's appointed.
okay, you're appointed, but my point is that he also is working in the private sector still.
Yeah, a lot of those guys do that.
Okay, and how is that not a conflict of interest? If he's advising politicians, but he's also being employed by the very companies that he's advising politicians on. And how is that not a conflict of interest for almost 5 fucking decades?
I haven't seen the man's pay stubs, but I imagine he probably like works out of a hospital or something, or has an office somewhere. That's probably like how he still practices.
Well, I mean, I don't know the Jess, do you know how they like quantify ownership in these fucking labs all over the country, the world that they have, that they do these fucking like biotests and gain of function research?
I don't.
Okay.
Is it not just funding?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that, but that's like a catch-all. That's like funding. Okay, well, what's that mean? Is that donations? Is that private? Is that an investment group? Is that private investors? Is that anonymous? Is that
money?
Public? You know, he owns a lot of these fucking, like, how are you going to own these fucking labs and all this shit that are involved? And all their names are being dropped in all of this shit. I mean, like, he's got connections to the Wuhan lab. That I don't even think China. What is China even throwing up a bullshit story anymore? Or have they just been like, believe whatever the fuck you want, we don't care?
Right.
Like, seriously, what is China's official story? Do we even know?
Oh, I saw something a few weeks ago that they were trying to bring back the wet market thing again. Like that it came from a wet market and some story. It was like a blip in the news cycle. Like
China's trying to make this.
Like, oh yeah, it didn't come from a lab. It had to come from this wet market.
Okay, so at first when we said wet market, which is what everyone was saying, to the point where all three of us agreed on regimented, it was the wet market, and did so without feeling racist at all. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm bringing that up.
Well, there's no magic pangolin in the update. It's just the wet. It's just blanket wet market now.
Well, China was like, that's racist. And then it was like, well, there's a lab that does like bioengineering and studying shit in Wuhan. And then it was like, well, it could have been it might have been a wet lab, or you know what, we don't know. And it's like, or a wet market, but it's not the lab. But we, I don't know. It's not the lab though. We know it's not the lab. It could have been anything else. That's just the vibe I'm getting here. Like that's. And now, like I said, what's China's official stance? Do we know? I know how Demi Lovato feels about coronavirus. I don't know what China's official stance is. Maybe our news isn't giving us the right news, huh?
Here we go. From Deseret News, so I guess that's a right-wing news source. I'm not sure which. I know this one's on one of the spectrums.
Sure. It doesn't even matter. Everything is at this point now.
Where did COVID-19 come from? Utah researcher says new study confirms virus originated in market, not lab.
So
this is from July 26th.
So a month ago. So what we were told was racist 2.5 years ago is once again the official story. And by the way, the CDC is now saying shit that got people banned on social media and thrown off entire fucking social media platforms, plural, not singular, as little as 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
This gentleman is saying the only place this virus was circulating in December 2019 is the area immediately surrounding the Hunan market, which is quite a distance away from the Wuhan Institute of Virology that's been suspected as the source. That's what he's saying.
Defined quite a bit away.
Right. The study concluded the emergence of COVID-19 could likely be traced to one or more of the wet market's 10 to 15 stalls that sold live dogs, rats, porcupines, badgers, hares, foxes, hedgehogs, marmots, and Chinese Munchtech, which parentheses small deers, with the virus having been found in animal cages, carts, and drainage gates there. Which, hold up, weren't we told shit didn't, like, weren't we told the surfaces was a bunch of bullshit too?
Yes.
Yeah, they dropped that within the first 6 months. But the first couple months working in in the food industry, yeah, it was, yeah. Hope you like food with your bleach, because that's what the fuck everything tasted like, I'm sure.
Yeah. Remember when we were fucking wiping down our groceries?
Yeah. When it came down that we don't know what's going on, so take precautions, as if every customer is terrified of you, and you're carrying fucking COVID.
So this guy comes out a month ago and says everything we were told was wrong is right again.
Guys, I got to ask this question, okay? And if you don't feel it, or you don't see it, or you don't think it, let me know. But, like, are either of you aware that, like, how much bullshit that they, like, none of what the fuck is even real anymore?
Yeah, it's like, who's telling the truth? This guy or the mainstream media? Who's the nut job?
Well, it doesn't even fucking matter. Give it a long enough timeline, the mainstream media will double back and fucking go back and double down on what they just fucking attacked you for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting to wonder if one of the old co-hosts on Regimented, Todd, had it right, where he's like, just unplug and just go out into the fucking wilderness like the Unabomber. Just don't kill people. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously. Because how is this better for everybody's mental health and just the public temperament in day-to-day life for us to not even know what's real and what's not? So we can't even fucking agree on what facts we're going to hate each other about. We just hate each other. This is madness, man. This is fucking insanity, dude.
So someone did fuck a pangolin.
Am I the only one that sees this?
No.
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 Am I the only one that has any thoughts on this? Because, I mean, this shit has to be frustrating to just more than me.
So I think all of it's by design. I think it's just to throw it all out there and to confuse all of us about everything. And then honestly, at any given point, they can always say, like, oh, no, we said that at the beginning. That's always been a school of thought that we had. We never discounted that. That was other people who said that was wrong.
Oh, man, this guy's throwing it way back. No, this guy's saying it's bats. It's way back. Remember there's the bat flu?
Yeah, so it is absolutely 100% going back to everything that we were told is racist and istophobic to even fucking wonder if it may have came from. Because that's when I really started fucking getting my mad on against all this bullshit, is when it was like, I can't even ask questions, and we're talking about trust the science. Do you know what science is? Science is literally the scientific method, which means you're trying to prove yourself wrong constantly.
Ask questions.
Yes. Yeah. So, I'm sorry. For the younger millennials and Zoomers, it's the fuck around and find out theory, not the scientific theory.
This means Trump's not racist. It's from China.
That's what
China virus.
No, but it's Trump's fault for pushing this vaccine too fast. So, like, just don't focus on that Trump wasn't wrong. Focus on all the ways he was wrong. Okay? We don't want to get canceled.
By the way, I do want to say that as much as I hope that you're wrong, I have to agree with you that, like, this makes no sense. This is just agitation propaganda. This is just stir the pot, keep the bees pissed off by shaking the hive type shit. This makes no sense. This makes no sense because you absolutely nailed it. What they do is they take one group of scientists and they have their press release. Then there's a second group of scientists, and they have a press release. And then the third and fourth. And then when they go back and they want to change shit, they get the first group of scientists who didn't say anything about what the fourth group of scientists said, but it's all serving the same fucking agenda. And they point it out there and they go, well, no, our group of scientists didn't say this. That group of scientists. Like, we don't see who's holding everybody's strings. Do you really think we're this stupid? And the answer is, yes, we're this stupid. Like, there's no getting around it. Look in the mirror and have contempt at the only person whose fault this shit is. If you buy this bullshit, it's your fault. You want to be woke? Wake the fuck up.
Yep.
This guy says there's no question it came from bats, by the way.
Oh, it's for sure now?
That's what he says.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
But did it come from bats out of a lab?
Did it come from Tim Burton or Christopher Nolan's Batman?
Yeah.
That's because...
I like Michael Keaton's COVID better.
Yeah, Michael Keaton's COVID's kind of funnier. You know, like, Christopher Nolan's COVID's, like, more gritty and real, but I kind of like,
I feel like this should just steer us into your subject.
I was about to say, or did it come from Batgirl?
Ah, yes. The elusive and apparently deleted from reality. So like, Warner Brothers Discovery Project, because that is why all this has happened. Discovery bought out Warner Brothers. And the Zaslav, I think is how you pronounce his name. I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago about how that they were not only not going to release the movie, but they were going to literally delete it from existence because it's a digital-only copy of a movie. There's apparently no film of this movie. And the directors, who I'm not even going to attempt to say their names,
It's racist.
Yeah, sure. It's racist if I mispronounce it. It's racist if I don't pronounce it. So I'll just save myself the hassle and be racist and not have to try to fucking pronounce bullshit names.
There you go, middle-aged white man. Know your place.
Yep. I'll take many seats. But yeah, they went into the Warner Brothers server to quote unquote retrieve parts and scenes of their movie. Which by the way is they're admitting they're breaking into. They're trying to steal a corporate property.
Yeah, you've admitted to half of a crime.
Well, first of all, let's just lay this out. You're not the intellectual property owners.
Yeah.
It's not your intellectual property. You don't have any claim to likeness rights.
You don't own Warner Brothers.
You were paid for a job that those checks have cashed and been in your bank account for fucking at least a year now.
Mm-hmm.
However long since you got your first check. So you have no legal claim to that. So they went in there and they released this press statement and said, and Warner Brothers deleted it. It's gone. It doesn't exist. They didn't even keep the Michael Keaton as Batman scene. That's what they said. And I was like, what? Dude. Okay, first of all, I just can't get over or not estimated. Leaks say between 70 and 90 million was spent on this movie when they finally pulled the fucking life support plug. I just can't get over how much damage did they think this was going to do to that fucking property.
How shitty was this movie?
That's what I'm saying, because they were talking about the damage and the fallout, not like the movie. They were like, the movie was so bad we knew it was going to just be, it would just get shit on. But it would damage Superman and Batman franchises that were just barely connected because they were in the same comic book universe. That's
in
it.
2022, you completely shit-canned and erased from existence a superhero movie with a female POC lead. How big of a turd was this movie?
And then there's all that, yes, because that's the people who want the movie back are like, well, this is racist because, and we talked about this. Kevin Smith, this is his take on it. That's not a good look, Warner Brothers. To delete a Latino-led movie, and it's like, who the fuck cares if it sucked?
Yeah. Guess what? People of color
can suck.
Yeah, have the ability to make shitty art.
Not every Michael Jackson album was Off the Wall or Thriller. There was his story in there. Okay,
there were, For every Thriller, there's a Dangerous.
So sorry, reality is going to slap you in the face with this, but no. Now, I mean,
the Temptations had a terrible album or two in the 70s.
First of all, I just got to say that this is now the sources that I watch for what's going on behind the scenes and this type of shit in Hollywood, they're pretty much batting I want to say 850, almost 900, because especially Mr. H Reviews on YouTube and Overlord Overlord DVD on YouTube. Both of them had fucking leaks about the last Disney fucking sequel Star Wars movie, and they had the plot right down to every single little detail about the Emperor.
Oh, wow.
All this shit. Like 2 weeks to a month before the movie even premiered. It hadn't been shown anywhere. There was no way these leaks were coming from any place but inside.
What you're saying is you trust
Fox.
their moles.
Now, almost, yeah. And I mean, here's the thing. They will say up front, this is a rumor or this is coming from a source that I trust 100%. Mm-hmm. And Overlord DVD, there's an extra layer of, I think it's theatricality, but it's just whatever. He does it behind a persona, and he has a voice changer and shit. And it's super
like the mob's looking for him.
It's super campy, late night horror show host on Saturday night type stuff. Wolfman Mac.
Yeah.
But
Count Scary.
When you're right, hey, that's scary. Scared of hand stuff. Count Scary was a regional fucking horror host up here in Detroit. But no, I mean, if you're right, you're right. I give credit where credit's due. Whether Gwar put on a hell of a live show. I'm not that big of a Gwar music fan, but they put on a hell of a live show. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You give credit where credit's due. But I mean, for the first part of the conversation, I mean, I am floored. $100 million. And on top of that, they're pulling the plug on most of all of the CW programming, and apparently are not trying to hide the fact that they said it is that the CW and all these Warner Brothers television properties have been running at a consistent loss for the better part of a decade, and that shit is done and over with. So this is really, when you start peeling away layers of the onion, this is Daddy's home. The woke people and the progressives have been behind the wheel because Daddy was away on a business trip, and now the bills come due and Daddy just walked through, and he's slapping people upside the head and resetting the fucking thermostat because Warner Brothers is going, get the fuck out of here. Discovery bought Warner Brothers and saw, I mean, it has to be they saw the shit show that was their finances. For them to kill a fucking television network, an entire fucking decade's worth of universe and world building with all those shitty ass superhero shows that I never watched that Aaron used to talk about all the time, gone, done, like they never existed. Just, what's that tell you?
The biggest movie of all time ain't a DC movie.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think we talked. I might have said it off the air, but I swear I might have said it also on the air. Also, Top Gun just passed Avengers for the highest-grossing domestic film in history.
Oh,
so I mean that goes against the complete narrative coming out of Hollywood that no one wants to see anything but superhero movies and super fucking like progressive bullshit. And it's like, no, most of your progressive bullshit kind of tanks, like CW and all that.
Well, didn't it back in the day? Didn't it used to just all be your art house and independent shit?
What, the CW?
No, like your progressive stuff.
Yeah, for the most part. Like you would watch Kids, and you knew that you watch a movie like Kids, right? I'm not going to say Kids is a progressive or like a proto woke movie or whatever the fuck, but you watch that movie.
I like him new, not like you.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that I'm going to guess that most of the filmmaker or at least the writer has a certain political point of view that probably leans to the left.
Yes.
That's going to be my guess. But it wasn't the end all be all. So even and this is not in the 90s and the 2000s. Go back to the 2000s. Look at, people don't realize this, like Quentin Tarantino is independent cinema. George Lucas is independent, was independent cinema, like before he became George Lucas. That's what independent cinema was. Like the small art house shit, it was like made for such a small audience, and they try to almost like, let's take the sensibilities from these movies and try to force them into a fucking action movie. But the problem is that you're not doing it well. You're not telling a good story off the bat. You don't have compelling characters, and you're already basically from the get-go, before people sit down in the movie theater or buy the ticket, you're telling half your audience, fuck you, we don't like you, and we're going to shit on you. None of that leads to more money in somebody's pocket, let alone asses in the seats, let alone spreading the message that these quote-unquote artists feel is so dear and near to their hearts. It's actually turning people off from it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be honest here. I didn't watch a lot of the CW stuff. Jess, I know that you watched, like, was it Gossip Girl?
Yes, and Supernatural.
Supernatural. Those were on the C. Okay. Do you watch are there any CW shows now that, like, anybody your age, maybe younger, watches like that anymore?
What are the popular ones right now?
There you go. That's the answer to my question right there. You don't even know. You don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, what beer is your favorite? I don't know. I've never tasted beer. End of conversation. You know what I'm saying? Got my answer.
So the Wayans brothers no longer on the WB?
They haven't been on for about 20 years or more, dude. I think Don't Be a Menace come out, and their last season came out right after that.
Well, I know they were one of the shows that launched that network.
I don't know. But my point is that, like, what is on these fucking networks? Because Discovery is mostly reality television.
Oh, at this point, yeah. Look, when I was a kid, it was a science network. Yeah, now it's it's reality TV and true crime.
Okay, so cheap stuff, essentially documentaries and reality programming, the cheapest stuff to produce, cheap to make, yields the highest profit margins. But I mean, like, obviously that is not what the Batwoman movie was. But the Batwoman movie is a symptom of a bigger overall issue that the Zaz is finding with Warner Brothers now that he's been placed in charge of cleaning house. Like I said, smacking heads and fucking turning the fucking thermostat back to normal. Like I just find it funny because I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do with a whole television network? Because who the fuck wants to buy a broadcast television network at this point in time in history?
Right.
What is the point of it?
July 2022 is the month where digital and streaming officially passed cable and broadcast.
So that's the point of no return
for the number. Like, it had done it before for like a week or two here and there, but the whole month of July, there were more people watching streaming than there were watching cable and broadcast television. So, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Why would anybody want to step up and spend money on that? I mean, wouldn't they almost be better off selling whatever bandwidth they use on the fucking, you know what I'm saying? On the shit to like, I don't know, lease it to the government or something. I don't fucking know. I mean, isn't that what Dick Kernan talked about when we were in Specs when they switched from analog to digital? He's like, all those digital signals, those airwaves, they belong to us, the American people. But we're not going to make a profit off of one bit.
Nope. We just pay for them.
Yeah, exactly. But so, anyways, yeah, like so CW. I imagine they're looking to do a complete overhaul, almost a complete rebranding of that, because CW to me, when you say CW, I think of just the shows that you watched, and I think of bad DC Comics shows.
Are they going to bring back the Frog? Or no, wait.
That was UPN, wasn't it?
Oh.
Or was it?
Oh, no. Damn it. No, wait, yeah. CW, was that the WB?
No, didn't the WB become the CW?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So WB was the Frog in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean...
No, I think UPN came to CW. Because CW's on channel 20?
I don't fucking know. Dude, the last time I turned on a TV that I could tune into a fucking channel was 2 decades ago, dude. I have no idea. Like, everything's been through fucking a cable or Wi-Fi.
Ooh, we get it. You cut the cord first.
No, I just didn't have any fucking thing. Everything was fucking cable. It went through a cable box, man. I haven't had a broadcast television since before fucking high def became the standard, is what I'm saying.
CW was the WB.
Yes,
according to the intranet.
Okay. Now,
so bring back the Frog.
You know, and like I said, this is all just interesting shit. It just seems like the chickens have come home to roost. And if you're progressive fucking politics and pushing the message and shoehorning it in left and right, it seems like if it's not making a profit at this point, well, you're done. On to the next one. But on a deeper level, what's interesting to me is the fact that they just erased an entire fucking work of art to where there is no fucking proof of its existence outside of people going, I worked on it. I got a paycheck to be a grip.
Like no intern stealing this and leaking it onto the internet?
None of that shit. And I mean, that is just... The idea that we can now do that is kind of terrifying, because people sitting at the top of a lot of fucking power pyramids aren't people I want with the ability to do that. Because, I mean, how long from we can delete something that we recorded originally on the digital format to, well, we just transfer things from analog to digital, destroy the analog, and then we can just do whatever we want, modify, change, or delete the digital.
I mean, think about, we could get rid of Jar Jar Binks. We could erase him from history.
Yeah. Nickelback. Chris Cornell's solo album produced by Timbaland.
Wait, what?
You didn't know about that? No, off air. We're not deep diving on this fucking show. You don't know that. You did not. If you did not know that, you looked that up.
I don't need to know that.
Your phone. That is, like, seriously. I'm surprised you did. That's your boy, dude.
Is that the one with Patience on it?
I don't know. No, that was after he died. I think that was like a radio thing that they released.
Because I heard that today. I was like, it was all right in spots.
I think
I think my main thing was like, you're not Axl.
But no, it's just, that is where I'm like, okay, that's where my concern lies. And here's my question. What can be done to stop the abuse of people being able to erase that shit? Is this something that, like, even though we're all pretty much on the same page, I mean, to different and varying degrees about we would like a smaller and more efficient government, or streamlined and efficient, I guess, if you want to be fucking an asshole about it and get all PC. But I mean, is this something that, like, there needs to be regulation? Because, I mean, isn't that just too much fucking power and control over reality?
Wait, who gets to be the arbiter is what you're getting at. Who gets to say what gets to be kept and what doesn't get to be kept?
I mean, because private corporations can do what the fuck they want with their intellectual property with no legal repercussions, as far as I know.
Don't we need to? I know it's you know, it's the stereotypical example, but like, don't we need Mein Kampf to know, like, hey, don't do this again? Like,
yeah, I know, I got what you're
saying. Don't you need the bad examples to remind you of, like,
dude? Is that rhetorical? I'm serious. Is that rhetorical?
Yes, it's not to you personally.
Because I mean, like we know the answer.
Yeah.
Our generation, yes. Jess, you want to take this one?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Re-ask.
I'm just saying, your generation seems like anything they don't like, it's like, nope. That doesn't exist anymore.
Is that my generation? I think it might be the generation, at least the younger millennials.
It's like, you know how we still keep the footage of sick and German shepherds on black people and hitting them with the fire hose 60 years ago? Yeah, we keep that around. So it's like, hey, let's not do that again. Let's not go back to that. It's a reminder of, like, we used to behave badly. Things used to be different. And now they're not. Or now they are.
The scary thing about this is that we really don't need any more help in forgetting shit that just happened. Case in point is someone has drawn up a meme of, I think it's in the last 5 years there was the Marvel God damn it, not Scarlet Witch, fucking Scarlett Johansson's fucking character, Black Widow. She had a movie and it was like, this is the first. No, Captain Marvel was the first one. This is the first female-led Marvel movie. And then Black Widow come out and they're like, this is the first female-led Marvel movie. This is all marketing, campaigns, screenshots, collaged together in this meme. And it just keeps going with, like, different movies and television shows in the Marvel Universe. And everything claims to be the first time for women ever in the history of ever.
Also, remember, you were not allowed to think that Captain Marvel was terrible, even though history has proven it to be.
Yeah, it is a boring-ass movie. And I defended those, because that's another directing duo that did that movie. They did a movie with Ryan Gosling called Half Nelson. That is one of my favorite fucking movies, and I will fucking die on that hill any day. And then they made that cinematic.
But if I remember
that cinematic turd Captain Marvel. And
I just remember the temperature of the room was, if you dared to bring up that Captain Marvel wasn't that great, you were a misogynist and you hated Brie Larson. And why do you hate women?
Well, I mean, that's their go-to. That's their armor for criticism, and I mean that's well-worn carpet. This is more like what I'm getting at is it just, we already have this fucking, and just to your point, I want to, you touched on something that I want to come back to. You're absolutely right. It's the younger millennials. Just like most people, when they think Gen X, don't think mullets, Van Halen, IROC Z's, denim, and shit like that. They think grunge, 90s, shit like it. It's the last thing that generation left its mark on. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
yes.
The last generation, the last person of the generation to go through the fucking exit is the one they're going to remember the best, type thing. So, yeah, welcome to the suck. You get lumped in with people that you have nothing in common with, and everybody treats you accordingly. It sucks. But guess what? That's what America is, a big game of tag. Your generation's it.
I always get lumped in with people who like Poison, and I hate that.
Exactly. Dude,
that music was terrible.
Exactly.
What's wrong with Poison?
See?
Do you have ears?
Yes.
Hey, please. You guys start your own podcast. Go back and forth about
talk about how I hate Poison and Domino's Pizza.
I can't. Because it's not that it wouldn't be interesting. I just don't give a fuck about Poison enough to listen to anybody defend or tear them down. I'm just like, stop talking about Poison.
exactly. But I'm more in that camp. Like, dude.
But no, I do think there is. All jokes aside, some serious implications and some. I don't know how anyone could deny that the potential for fuckery is thick with this type of bullshit. I mean, especially once we start in the mass on the conscious level of society, start moving away from an analog to a pure digital world. Then the manipulation of reality and history is going to be so fucking easy.
Are you telling me I may never be in the future be able to watch Soul Man ever again?
You can't watch it now unless you have a VHS copy.
Really?
They've never released it. It's not on a streaming service. That's never been on DVD as far as I know, and it damn sure ain't on Blu-ray.
No shit.
Unless it's like a bootleg copy.
Dude, I have an app that if it's streaming, it's this app.
For the uninitiated, okay, Soul Man was a movie to come out in the 80s, starred a actor who was very white, named C. Thomas Howell. That's how white he was. His first name is a letter. But he tries to get into a college. He gets turned down because of an affirmative action person that got in before him. So he takes tanning pills that turns him...
Tanning pills, yes, that's right.
It's tanning pills, yeah. It turns him... And he looks more Indian, like from India, than black, but somehow they try to say he's trying to pass himself off as black. And believe it or not, James Earl Jones is in this movie. Like,
yeah,
Darth Vader's voice, Academy Award winner.
His agent went, yeah, he'll do it.
EGOT winner. I think he's an EGOT, isn't he?
Star of Roots.
Yes.
Okay, we got to cancel some people here. Well, you can't stream it for free. You can rent and buy on Amazon, YouTube, Apple TV, Vudu. You're all canceled.
Okay, hold on a sec. Is it a physical copy, or can you stream it and buy it, or buy it and then stream it?
Oh no, you're just buying it digitally.
Okay, then I was wrong then. Yeah, I'm sorry. I read an article a few years ago that there's like banned digital media that'll never be fucking see the light of day on digital unless it's done on like the homemade level, like someone basically doing a bootleg one out of their house.
$7, it can be yours on Amazon.
By the way, you can buy Song of the South on Facebook. Yes, I'm not joking. There's advertisements for fucking DVD bootleg copies of Song of the South. Dude,
I mean, I know we're looking at this through like 2022 eyes, but I'm like, really? In 1986, looking at him, we thought this was a good idea. Look, it's him as a pimp, even making it worse. You're making it worse.
Yeah, well, that scene in the context of it it's her dad fucking thinking about her bringing home a black guy and what he's going to be like. So he thinks.
Oh, so it's like a Scrubs fantasy.
Yes, exactly. It's like one of JD's fucking fantasies. Yes. I don't have interracial jungle fever.
But in 1986, they're like, yeah, we'll put a white guy in blackface. No, saying you took tanning pills doesn't make it better. You still put a white guy in blackface in 1986.
Amen. Anyways, now that fucking side trip down that particular fucking rabbit hole's over with. Yeah, I don't know where I fall on this, because part of it, like a big part of me is like, we have to protect the integrity and the original fucking artistic vision of the creators for this stuff, but then my civil libertarian side is screaming like, fuck the government, trying to tell me what I can and can't do, and this and that. But it's like this ain't gonna affect me and you. See, this is one of those subjects that, like, if it ever gets to the point where it somehow ends up we have to vote and it becomes a politically divisive subject, it really shouldn't be, because people are gonna be like, well, you won't be able to make deep fakes in your bedroom. Do you really think the FBI is going to kick open your door because you want to superimpose Natalie Portman's face on a porn star and jerk off to it?
Right. Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Okay. And by the way, that's very available on the internet. Like, I've masturbated to that twice on this podcast. Okay. So fuck off with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never going to affect you. It's more
that had to have been really uncomfortable for Chris sitting right there.
No, that's why we got the long table. You really can't see what's going on. And I told you, he's deaf. He keeps his fucking cans so goddamn high. He can't hear anything that goes on. It's not in those headphones, so he didn't even hear the table thumping. Nothing. Mike might have picked it up. Have fun editing that.
The directional mics. It's not pointed at the table, it won't hear.
Even though it's attached to the table?
Well, it depends. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, if you jiggle the mic, yeah.
But, I mean, no, in all seriousness, like, I don't want the fucking government to be the arbiter of fucking art, but I also don't want private institutions and corporations to be able to just fucking erase shit because some great-grandson of Jimi Hendrix has a fucking heroin habit and sold his rights off to somebody for a fucking song. And it's like, you got the right to sell the rights to the likeness rights or whatever for a song, but at least fucking the art has to stay the same, doesn't it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
allegedly.
It's kind of like a modern day book banning, right?
Mildly annoyed with the Machine song. To quote them, they don't know how to burn the books; they just remove them.
Mildly annoyed with the Machine.
Now we just delete, move it over to the fucking recycle bin. Empty recycle bin. Boom. Orwell. No longer problematic.
Right.
And if you think about it too, you have, like, my generation is notorious for this. People who don't read, like, they absorb all of their entertainment via media.
You are the people who invented the acronym TLDR.
Yes, we did. That was a Reddit thing, right? Isn't that where that originated?
I have no idea. But probably some fucking IRC chat room in the late 90s somewhere, probably. At least that's what the net nerds will tell you. I'm not that much of one, I can't tell you. Well, I mean, the thing is that what happens when 35 years down the road, you're sitting at home watching your fucking paper-thin, flat-screen fucking TV that's like, you know, like you roll down or whatever the fuck, and all this high-tech bullshit, and they're showing you the Zapruder film, and it's digitally altered to completely misrepresent what you've seen a million times because you've seen the Zapruder film a million fucking times. If you grew up and you're near our age, because they almost showed JFK in fucking school at times. Jesus Christ.
They digitally insert the second gunman on the grassy knoll.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and then you go, wait a minute, this isn't reality, and everyone around you goes, okay, boomer, go to bed. Just why don't you die? We're so tired of you. Because that's what happens now when we speak up to people in their 30s. Most people in their 30s aren't like Jess when it comes to us. They don't want to fucking listen. You're 45. The fuck am I going to learn from you? 10 more years of living than you have. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll start with that. And on top of that, I've learned some shit from younger people. Being a musician will humble your ass real quick. Because no matter how good you are, no matter how young you are, there's someone better and younger walking right behind you. So, yeah. I mean, like...
Damn, that guy plays guitar better than me, and he probably looks way better than me naked. Fuck!
Dude, when I saw John Mayer for the first time, I was like, if I could only sing and I was good looking.
Right? Oh,
dude. Especially that first album, John Mayer, I was like, you ain't doing nothing on guitar that I can't do. But anyways.
But no, his team photo, good lord.
Well, all right. Well, obviously, this subject's going absolutely fucking nowhere because we're talking about who John Mayer sticks his dick into. So I guess we're done with the fucking subject. He did call Jessica Simpson sexual fucking napalm. So I mean, I guess that bitch was like the one that would make like the Pope go, you know, hell ain't that bad.
Dude, there were girls he humped and dumped that. That's white privilege right there. The women he got to just never call again.
Taylor Swift?
No, it's
what? What?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
A couple of her hits are about him.
And she's open about it too.
Oh god. That flat-assed, nothing to her.
Dude,
you're like 5'10", 90 pounds, blonde, and a bored. What is there about Taylor Swift that's attractive?
hot blonde chick.
She's not hot, dude. She looks fucking like an alien. And she ain't got no body.
I'm with you on this, but I'm just saying to the general public, hot blonde chick.
No.
She's a Barbie doll.
You know who she's hot to? Fashion designers. And who are fashion designers? Gay men. She's built like a fucking 15-year-old boy. That's what the fuck that shit is. And I'm not saying that fucking gay men want... Well, no. Maybe gay... Milo did say in the gay community, I don't know, and I've had a few gay friends be like, it's not really that unusual.
Dude.
But, I mean, I'm just saying, she's built like a fashion model. Stop taking your cues on what men find attractive from gay men. If they want to tell you how to dress, help you with your makeup, that's good. Go ahead. But when they go, oh, girl, you need to peel like 45 and look like a refugee from Auschwitz. No, fuck that. That's not hot. No. And anyone who finds that hot, you really don't want to be with, because once you see their search history and the type of porn they watch, you're going to be very uncomfortable.
I just want to have John Mayer's penis for like a year. Let's see. Jennifer Love Hewitt. I'll just give you some highlights. Jennifer Love Hewitt, Melania Weintraub, who we all know as Lily from the AT&T commercials, Jessica Simpson, Cameron Diaz, Minka Kelly, Jennifer Aniston, Taylor Swift, Rashida Jones somehow, Miley Cyrus, Kim Kardashian, Katy Perry. I mean, good for John. These are the highlights. There's a bunch of no-names in there.
Yeah, he seems like a star fucker, though.
Hey.
There's celebrities who fuck civilians, and they're the types that probably got to dodge lawsuits. And then there's celebrities who fuck under other celebrities, and they got to dodge paparazzi. He's a star fucker.
Seems like for a good 10 years. For 10 years, it was good to be John Mayer. Still probably good to be John Mayer now.
Dude.
But he has managed to... one thing I'll give him, he has managed to gone from like universal douchebag to now people think he's like a good guy. He has managed to somehow shed that douchebag image.
I never really got the douchebag image besides people going, he's a frat boy, blah, 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 blah. And the truth is, like, nah, he was hanging out with, like, who's that fucking... Cause I'm a thug. That motherfucking rapper from the 90s and 2000s, and I can't.
That could have been like
maybe
because
I'm a thug, but all day, every day, whatever this fucking song. Anyways, he was hanging out with like straight up like. When I say ghetto ass rappers, I'm talking like the fucking like Cash Money crew is like, yo, that's kind of ghetto.
Like wondering like, what did John Mayer do to impress these motherfuckers?
Dude, I'm telling you, the rapper I'm talking about, who I can't remember his fucking name, okay, he was on Cribs and he was showing his fucking house, and John Mayer's in the background chilling, and he's the only white boy I saw. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's... John Mayer's done some dirt or something. Like,
I wonder how often John Mayer, rapper friend, has been Googled. It's just been Googled now.
Baby, I'm a thug. That whoever the fuck does that song is him. That's his. I know the fucking song. I can picture the ugly motherfucker. I just can't remember his name.
Trick Daddy?
Thank you. Jesus fucking Christ. 10 minutes we wasted on that? It didn't matter. Anyways, he's doing a fucking Cribs, and John Mayer's in the background. Like I said, these are hood motherfuckers. These are motherfuckers who I'm like, yeah, if I lived in that neighborhood, I'd probably have to watch my fucking P's and Q's. And John Mayer's chilling. Only white boy. And what Bernie Mac has said holds true. When you see a posse of brothers and one white boy, that white boy's done some crazy shit to get the respect of them brothers. So you know he's done dirt, is what I'm saying.
But isn't the other joke, too, you also need someone to talk to the cops?
I don't know if I'd say John Mayer is my representative of all white people. In Florida, you could find, like, well, now you can just go to Tom Brady.
Yeah, who sent the high white guy?
Yeah, John Mayer, like, he whether or not he's an asshole, he's high. He's got drugs on him.
Right, yeah.
He's probably a walking felony.
It's a smoke screen, right? John will get arrested first. Everyone else can clear out.
He's the, what is it, designated fucking decoy.
All right. Trick Daddy, I'll come bail you out. Just get picked up for possession.
But, yeah, I mean, like, so, like I said, it's just... there's more to John Mayer than we know. I probably won't live long enough to hear the fucking tell-all shit because it'll probably have to come after he like dies or something like that. So, chances are none of us will live that long.
John Mayer ain't immune. John Mayer will get to the point where he needs money and he'll write a book.
You think he'll do a tell-all and fucking like paint like? And I'm talking like character assassination, like Bing Crosby's children did to him style. Like, oh, you like White Christmas? He beat us constantly
with a belt.
You know what I'm saying? Like people coming forward, like John Mayer threw the N-word around, like he was the sixth member of NWA.
I just, if it's dirty stuff, it ain't what late, dude. He made it through Me Too. He clearly was a known cocksman, and he came through 2017 clean as a fucking whistle.
Okay, well, I have a theory about that. John Mayer's like 6'5", okay? So John Mayer is probably hitting it right. So he's probably one of the lucky, blessed guys who's got a big dick, and he actually knows what to do with it. Instead of just, I got a big dick, I showed up. It's like a hot chick. How many, like, seriously, I mean, drop dead gorgeous. Oh my God, she's so beautiful it hurts to look at. Hot chicks are usually like tranquilized mattresses in bed. That's my experience.
Yeah, 9 out of 10.
What's your quote? Give me a 5 who tries hard over a 9 who lays there.
Absolutely.
So maybe John Mayer's he's in that Goldilocks zone.
I like to think you're having fun.
Hold on, wait a minute. What are we doing? We're wasting our most precious natural resource for this subject. Is John Mayer one of those guys who, maybe not with you, but just women in general, he's in like that Goldilocks zone, like Ryan Reynolds or maybe like Matthew McConaughey, where it's like he's kind of sleazy and you know he could do some dumb guy shit, but you still forgive him because whatever reasons.
Looks good with his shirt off.
He's like a hit or miss. From my experience, and anyone I've ever talked to about him, you either love him or you hate him. And there is absolutely no in between. I've never met someone neutral I've never met a female who's neutral about John Mayer.
Yeah, that tracks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, because my ex-wife loved John Mayer. And the compromise was I found the John Mayer trio, which was basically him doing his best Hendrix impersonation. And I was like, we can listen to this John Mayer album in the car together. And she's like, the song's 12 minutes long. I think he sang for 2 of them. Rest of it's guitar solos. I'm like, yeah. So you got 2 minutes to get your point across and then shut the fuck up for 10 minutes, okay? And this is why I'm no longer married. No, I never said that to my ex. Well, no. I think I've told everybody that if you've been around me long enough, especially in my musician days, and you talk during a song or something I was into, you've been told to shut the fuck up by me before, so it's fair. All right, well, I have nothing else, and I mean, like we're talking about like where John Mayer was sticking his dick almost 2 decades ago at this point. So, are we done?
Yeah,
covered all of our subjects.
Put a bow on this turd, stick it in a box, and call it a fucking day.
It's not turd. It's usable show length.
Yeah, it's content.
It's great content.
It's a cheery disposition we all know and love. Hey, if you listen to the show, you know it's part of the fabric. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, this ain't your first rodeo. And follow us on social media, on Twitter at Gen Exhausted Pod. Same thing on Facebook, where you can also like us. Hit the PayPal button, as we mentioned earlier in the show, or the Amazon banner if you'd like to help us out at ChristopherMedia.net. And wherever you listen to the show, where you can rate us and review us, please do. 1 to 5 stars. We could take our lumps as well as our compliments. You know, it's all feedback, like that gentleman from earlier said, right? It's all constructive feedback, and we've taken it and blah, 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 and whatever. But wherever you rate us and review, or you can rate us and review us, please do.
And we promise we won't sign any shitty AI mumble rappers.
Yes. The no mumble rapper guarantee. Straight from us. Anyways, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
All right. Later, guys.
See ya.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.